Hi everybody. I think this is live. Let me know. I know some people said hi already, so thank you. But now let me know, it's working, something like that. I hear you. And I'll say hi to everybody too. So I'm still waiting because there's a delay, so I don't see. Yes, okay, great. Somebody, great, wonderful. I have confirmation. It is working. Yay. All right. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Even if you've never worked with me before, you're just sort of interested in energy healing and meditation, welcome, welcome. My name is Janet Wright, and I'm an energy healer, reader, and teacher. And this is going to be a group healing, group energy healing, where I heal a specific subset of people in the world, 100 people in 10 different countries, including 7 kids, age ranges 5 to 17. How cute is that? And I'll read the countries in a second, but countries that people are in. But so welcome if you are one of the people that I'm healing during this live stream. Welcome, welcome. Many people don't watch live, many people do. It sort of varies. And then, of course, welcome to everybody else that's just watching that was not able to or just chose not to prepay before it sold out. And you guys are very welcome to watch and say hi in the beginning, and at the end say, how your healing was for you, because you would be healing yourself as you watch. And I say what I'm doing as I do it, so it's also serves as a walkthrough for you guys. So, and good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you are in the world. And today, I'm going to do like an overview, and then I'm going to do like a technical overview, talking about the actual techniques, and then we'll get started. And just like in the sort of general overview, even if you're a newbie and you don't know what chakras are, you don't know really much about your energy, that's okay. You can listen, you can follow along, you're welcome. You may not understand some of the technical descriptions, but that's okay. The healing would still work on you if you do your best. You're probably gonna get a really good healing, because this is going to be a pretty technique packed walkthrough. And so even if you like sort of get a third of it, and you're doing it and you try all of it, but a third of it you really rock accidentally, you think, and it's going to be a great healing. So I welcome every newbie. Even if you feel like you're messing up, you're not going to be messing up. But also I have a lot of clients who are more intermediate and advanced as well, and obviously you guys are very welcome as well. So thank you for my hellos. I will catch up on those either before we start or at the end, and I do appreciate all my hellos. I like that stuff a lot. My little inner child likes all the little flower icons and stuff. So, okay, so the general overview is that the theme, most general overview maybe is that this is a set of 3 healings. Today's Friday, so this is the first in the set. And then Sunday is the second in the set in 2 days from now. And then Tuesday is the third in the set. So Friday, Sunday, Tuesday, that's the triplet set of energy healings. And I do these every month these days, starting on the first Friday of each month. So that's now. And so you could participate in one of, if you're just healing yourself, you can participate in one of them or all of them. If you're watching later as a video, you could do one of them or all of them. It's not like you'll mess yourself up if you only do one and not the others. But if you paid me for, to receive healing from me, I'm doing all 3 on those people. Today's is the first of the 3. And what else? more general overview, just conceptually, the theme today, well, for this triplet set of 3 healings is strong, thriving survivor, which I'm very excited about. And, you know, I think it's, the angels always help me to create the themes and figure them out and plan timing on them too. And so it's definitely the angels that put this particular theme right where they did put it. There's a lot of upheaval going on in the world, in part due to coronavirus pandemic, and also in the US, and perhaps in other countries. I'm not as clear on that, but in the US there is some upheaval and hopefully awakening about police brutality and widespread discrimination based on race. And so there's a big cultural shift going on, hopefully a really big one, because the US needs that, basically. So there is a special technique that we're going to do pretty early on in the healing to help everyone cope with that, because even if you really want, you know, the US to shift drastically away from the generations of racial oppression, both subtle and overt racial oppression that has been in the US and continues in the US. There's something you can do with your grounding, the way you're grounded to the center of the earth, to make that not so internally traumatizing, the shifts. So we're going to do that pretty early on in the healing. I'm going to call it indie grounding. So it's a new technique called indie grounding, for independent grounding. Indie grounding, which means basically that you're not doing communal grounding. So I'm just typing that out for people. So indie grounding as opposed to communal grounding. Now, most people don't realize that they do communal grounding, but really, I would say out of the 100 participants, 7 people, maybe 8 or 9 people were clearly not doing communal grounding, and they were already doing indie grounding. But the other 90 plus people out of the 100, which includes, you know, very skilled healers as well as newbies, they were doing partially communal grounding, accidentally, subconsciously. And I'm going to explain that more as we get to it, but it's very doable to shift out of that and just do independent grounding, and that goes straight to the core of the earth. And that way, you know, your whole country and culture, or several countries that you care about, can shift all at the same time, and you're still okay. And I think that the more people that do this type of grounding, indie grounding, either consciously or subconsciously, the less likely people will cling to status quo. Because I think part of why people perpetuate oppressive systems, particularly those that are not being oppressed, perpetuate the system, is because they're grounding to the culture or the country and everybody in it, and so big change is too internally upsetting to them. So the more people that just do indie grounding, the more people are okay with, you know, cultural progress, let's say. Yay! So anyway, that's part of the overview. The other so that was just necessitated by all that's going on. And for maybe people who see this video years later and they're like, what was she talking about, that cultural shift in the US? So just briefly, I mean, we unfortunately have, like I said, generational racial oppression that can go unnoticed by people that are not being oppressed, basically white people. It can be unnoticed by those people, or just accidentally or purposefully perpetuated. And so recently, due to video, the availability of public video, some really tragic murders basically have been filmed, and some just kind of close calls have been filmed, all in very close proximity, and it's just sort of brought it all to the surface. And so the US has had over 10 days of demonstrating now, and as also rioting and looting, although sometimes the rioting and looting, certain groups focus on that and they ignore, perhaps purposefully, all the peaceful demonstrating and the purpose of the peaceful demonstrating. So anyway, that's, and the most recent murder that was caught on camera was George Floyd. So he did cross over. He is okay, just so you know. He crossed over really fast. But, very tragic way to go. And indicative of what has happened to many people for generations. Too many people. So anyway, you're going to learn indie grounding, and it's going to help. Because then you can choose to be a part of the solution or not be a part of the solution, or, be a part of the solution in a big way or a little way. You can choose your way to react to these cultural shifts and interact with these cultural shifts, but you won't feel like you're upside down and inside out as those cultural shifts are happening. So, yay. So that's indie grounding. And then we're going to be doing theme-related work, and the theme is Strong, Thriving Survivor. And Strong, Thriving Survivor is the theme because a lot of people in past lives and present life have been through traumatic situations, extreme stressful situations, or just perpetual stressful situations, without a break, or traumatic situations, abusive situations. And, we've all been through that stuff in past lives. Various past lives, because we've had so many past lives that you get a lot of variety. So anyway, the idea is to clear the trauma, heal from the stress enough so that you get to the other side of that. You're still in this life, but you get the strength and the empowerment after the victimization. Because victimization, spiritually there is a purpose for it technically. Although that can be sort of misinterpreted and people can get offended by that. But if you go through wounding and then you heal yourself, it's you become stronger than you were before, essentially. So that's the point of this triplet set. The theme, the point of the theme is to become stronger than you ever were before. Stronger, more whole, more you, so you can make the most of your life. And it is, I would say, a good triplet set, even for people who don't consciously feel victimized, just because, like I said, there are a lot of past lives that we've all had, and, it's very, very common to not quite, resolve everything before the end of a lifetime. So it's good to clean up some loose ends, even if you feel pretty awesome already. And another new thing we'll be doing, in addition to the indie grounding towards the start, we'll be doing towards the end, I think it'll be towards the end, a new thing which is called, it's, at this point I'm calling, you're going to be broadcasting as whole and healthy versus broadcasting as wounded. There's a way, just on a spirit level, where your seventh chakra identity makes a sound in a way, even when you're not trying. And so if you lead with your strength, say you are wounded, you're legitimately wounded, and you're not yet all healed, you're working on it, but so say you're maybe 40% wounded, 60% strong and whole, right? If you lead with the strong and whole, just on an identity level, you just kind of be like, I am strong and whole. then that can be heard, rather than if you lead with the, oh gosh, I'm 40% wounded, that is what emanates, and you're broadcasting as wounded. And if, unfortunately, if you broadcast as wounded, there are people and even beings, little beings that can take advantage of that. And so that's, I think, going to be also a new thing that we do in this healing. And a key thing is to just help people at a 7th chakra level to lead with their strength, to acknowledge everything. Don't be in denial. Don't deceive the world. It's not really about that. It's not like you're a big faker. It's like moving out of victim identity, but taking that one step further and really just, making sure you're broadcasting as strong and healthy. And I think that helps to end some victimization cycles, because like I said, unfortunately, some people and some beings that are invasive and have not great intentions, they kind of are attracted to the wounded people. And so they're not super psychic. They're just sort of reading that simplistic thing of, oh, wounded whole. So this way your 7th chakra creates your 7th layer, which your 7th layer has a lot to do with your first impression. So this way your first impression is more your strength. You're just allowing to be seen your strength versus, wearing all your wounds, like a billboard, which isn't so good. It's not fun either, but it does kind of attract an odd bunch of beings and people to you. So we don't want that. So that's the general overview. And I promise, if I triggered anything with the whole racial stuff, we're going to clear it, get you in a strong place with all that. There's always good news with energy healing. You can clear your triggers. Okay. Because some people associate being triggered with taking action, but they're two separate things. You don't have to be like a hot mess in order to take action. You can become whole, and then you have more choice and more discernment about what level of action is right for you. So that's what will be easier after this healing. Okay, so then the actual technical details, I will blow through pretty fast, because it's not really meant to be, it's just like a heads up, a quick heads up. And what we actually end up doing will be, by the end of today, I'll put it in the info section of this video so that you know for sure. You can just look through that and see for sure what we did. But this is what the plan is for what we're going to do is grounding. And then we're regular grounding, just wide and flowing all the way down to the core of the earth, as wide as your whole aura. But then we're going to do the indie grounding so that you make sure that you're not even accidentally, subconsciously, you're not doing communal grounding, especially at a time like now. If you do the indie grounding, it's just going to be so much more strengthening and stabilizing. And then aura repair, regular aura repair. And then we're going to repair and unblock all the major and minor chakras, which helps the physical body as well, because minor chakras includes all the acupuncture chakras, the acupuncture points that are all over the body. So repair and unblock all major and minor chakras to the extent that is healthy and gentle to do right now. And repair and unblock all body and spirit energy channels, which is super cool. And that also helps the physical body because the body energy channels include the meridians, which are identified through Chinese medicine. And they're really big for how you feel and medical stuff, body stuff. So that's nice. But we've done that before. That's not new. It's good, but not new. Be less scattered. It could be that the indie grounding we do takes care of all the scattering, but maybe not, because wow, were people scattered. I think I think a lot of people were scattered mostly though because of grounding problems. They were accidentally doing communal grounding. So we'll see. But if probably some people will still need to be less scattered type work where you heal the far off parts of you so they can feel better and come back. So we'll do that. Timeline, we'll do timeline healing to clear trauma, which is, the theme, clearing trauma, abuse, and extreme stress from this life and past lives. So timeline healing makes that really easy and interesting. So yes. Call back your energy. We're going to do that because of the theme, because it's like if you've been through trauma and abuse, specifically with abuse, part of what happens is your energy can even go to the group or people that is abusing you. So calling back your energy, your unique life force, is totally easy and doable and safe. And why not? So we're going to do that. And calling back your innocence too is nice, because that's an energy that doesn't necessarily go to a victimizer, but it just runs away. So that's easy to call back, and really very nourishing to call back your innocence. So I would recommend that. Innocence is actually a part of strength, although most people wouldn't think of it that way. It's true. We may or may not have time to do Wei Chi Aura work and Wei Chi Aura rings work. We'll see. We may not have time, or it may not be necessary once we do the other techniques. So that's a we'll see one. If you want to know for sure if we did it or not, later you can look in if you're listening now, you'll find out. But later, if you're hearing this as a video, you can just look in the info section real quick to know if we did Wei Chi Auras and Wei Chi Aura rings. Good karma windows, that's also on the maybe list. The only way we won't do that is if they just auto heal because of the other cool stuff that we're doing. We'll see. Telepathic mesh is another cool thing. It has to do with your telepathy, your nonverbal communication with groups, with individuals, with your angels. It also has to do with your inner voice and your thoughts and your peace of mind. So I have a video, Janet Wright Telepathic Mesh. If you look that up on YouTube, Janet Wright Telepathic Mesh, you'll find it. But anyway, so if needed, we'll do that. We'll see. And then, like I said, we'll end up with that whole 7th chakra adjustment so that you can broadcast as whole and healthy versus accidentally broadcasting as wounded. So that would help too. Oh yeah. And then open to angels' help. We're going to make sure that people are as much as possible open to receiving help from their angels. Because sometimes when you've been traumatized, the stress accidentally forms a wall between you and your angels. And that can help to perpetualize this cycle, to keep this cycle going, that you keep, negative things keep happening to you because you're not fully letting your angels help you. So we're gonna just double check on that. So we'll see how much of that we get done today. But we do have 2 other healings, Sunday and Tuesday. So some of that might get shoved onto Sunday or Tuesday. We'll see. But that is the rough idea for today. So everyone says, hi, Janet. Hi, thank you. Flowers, mushrooms, smiley faces. Good morning, it's working. Hi, everyone. Good evening from London. Hi, Janet, I can hear you. Hi, Janet. Just watching, not a participant, but very welcome. Hello from Ottawa, Canada. Super excited for today. Hey, Janet, I am participating. Hi, good morning, Janet. Yes, in London too. And then I said indie grounding is part of what we're going to do soon. And people in all countries are supporting the protests. Yes, yeah, I did. I just don't want to talk like I'm an authority on what other countries are doing about it. But yeah, I did see that in the news that all sorts of cities around the world are supporting the U.S. protests, which is great. And yeah, that's nice. And that does add to the shift, which is good. But let's get indie grounding going. So it's not so overwhelming on a personal level. And these protests, I do want to just say hello to the fact that they can impact people in very different ways. Part of that is if, you know, these protests are about racial oppression. So if you are not white and you've experienced a lot of racial oppression in your lifetime, it could affect you in a very different way than if you're white and you haven't in this lifetime experienced racial oppression. So this healing will help both those situations, because the theme is to deal with the trauma that you've been through. So if you are, you know, if your skin is, you know, I really don't like that we're, I mean, because we're all eternal spirits, you know, and, you know, for example, I'm white in this life, but in my last life, I was mixed. My birth father in my last life was African American, and my birth mother was white in my last life, so I was mixed. But it is a big deal because of the racial oppression. That makes it a big deal. But anyway, so because this theme is strong, thriving survivor, it will help and honor all skin color situations. And I did see a very interesting video yesterday by Hassan Minhaj, and I hope I didn't butcher his name, but he's I think he's Pakistani American, and he's a comedian, and he was sort of calling out some racial discrimination in Asian cultures and Asian American cultures, and so I think that is not just an Asian American culture, you know, just discriminating based on skin tone and how dark someone is or how light someone's skin is unfortunately sort of a human illness. So hopefully, you know, if you get your indie grounding and you know, you get safer and everything, you can choose, you know, to be a part of shifting that, hopefully, so that it hopefully is less and less occurring. Okay, great. So welcome everybody, and let's get to grounding and clearing some energy. I think I'll probably move up some energy block clearing steps, just so, because I've talked so much about racial oppression that, you know, that's triggering. So we'll clear that really soon, I promise. Clear it, not so you forget all about it, but just so it's so you can be more present and centered with it. Okay, hello everybody. Thank you for all the hellos. I'm gonna look at I have a list of everybody's names so I can keep track of people that I'm healing. All right, so I will be doing timestamps. I will post timestamps about when things, you know, we did this technique at this time, and by the end of today, those will be up in the comment section and the info section of the video. I think I can see. Yeah, I can read everything without my glasses. So we're gonna just have a quiet moment where I stop running my mouth so that I can center extra and say hello on a spirit level to the 100 participants. And then I'm gonna start the healing, and then I'll run my mouth again and start describing what I'm doing as I do it. So as I'm quiet, you know, you can just enjoy, check in with yourself, breathe, try to breathe deeply. Maybe, you know, have a healthy beverage. So like I said, right now I'm just gonna say hi to the 100 participants that I will be healing, the prepaid participants. So now I'm starting the healing, but I'm going to be quiet for a minute as I start. Okay, so thank you for waiting. Thank you for the silence. So when you heal yourself, you don't have to use your hands. You can just imagine using gold light from gold suns, maybe, that you create with your intention, gold suns shining on whatever part you need to heal. But the hands are very practical, and if you get good at using them, I think it makes you a much better healer to have that option. So just there, and there's hand chakras right here, and then little fingertip chakras as well. So just imagine those little round openings opening up wider, and let those chakras unblock and generate gold healing energy at a metallic gold color. Just because it's a high, which means fast moving vibration, but not too high to be, overwhelming. So it's a good cleaner. Gold energy is a good cleaner. It's a good way to get unblocked and healed. So anyway, just get your hands going, generating a lot. I would say also heal up your lower arms in particular. Make sure those are flowing nicely. There's a lot of energy. You can have, I'm doing that for the participants now too. I'm going to heal the people that I'm healing. I'm going to heal their hands and their hand chakras, their fingertip chakras, and their lower arms. Just because if your lower arms are very leaky or have a lot of energy wrapped around them, compressing them, then you don't have enough energy coming, and so it kind of weakens these chakras. These chakras are generating your healing energy, but having a lot coming through here keeps them strong. So it's all related. So I'm just healing everybody's elbows and lower arms. So your elbow and your lower arm. You can just imagine, you could just do it if you're doing yourself, do it like this. All right, and then just use a copy out in front of you is what I would suggest to heal your aura. Some people did have aura damage, so let's do aura repair damage to the aura. The aura ideally is a big bubble all around you, and it has layers to it, 7 layers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And these layers wrap all the way around you. Each one is generated by one of your chakras. So for example, 4th chakra generates your 4th layer of your aura. The energy goes in the front, flows out the back, and then fills up that 4th layer of your aura. So you don't want any big rips in your aura, because if you have rips, then the energy is going to leak out. And like I hinted at in the start, if you're leaking energy, you may actually attract some invasive beings or some invasive people that unfortunately, like sort of taking energy or, manipulating. So it's more fun to not leak energy. So just imagine, your bubble, your aura, and just imagine any rips that your aura might have. And you don't have to see energy. Like if you close your eyes and all you see is black, that's fine. Just within the black, just imagine the rips. Imagine the big bubble, or maybe it's all deflated. Just imagine the rips. Think about it. Just think that the gold light is going to find the rips and repair them. And I was talking to a client very recently, and she had sort of let her aura repair habits go away lately. She's busy, she works a lot, she has kids, yada yada, and coronavirus and this and that, and But meanwhile, she has aura damage for days at a time. And I think, people just forget. They think, well, I'm stressed because my work is a lot, or I'm stressed because of the riots, or I'm stressed because of this or that. If you have aura damage, that's what is stressing you. That defines how you feel, how you perceive the external events. If you don't have aura damage, you could be much more okay with the riots. That's a funny way to say it, but it doesn't like get to you. It doesn't kind of tear you up inside in the same way. So aura repair, I was telling this client, the more fun you make it, the more likely that you'll keep it as a habit, which will really help your life. So, you can use gold balloons, like drop gold balloons all around you right now, or gold confetti, or throw yourself a gold light party. Yeah. It's just, yay for me, just kind of, you can ask your angels, can you help make aura repair really fun and silly for me? Just so that, maybe your angels can like, go, 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 go. Angels, can you cheer me on when I repair my aura? And even if you can't hear your angels, you'll feel it somehow on some level. So, but yeah, try to make aura repair fun. Don't make it serious, because then you'll be more likely to keep it up, keep doing it on a daily basis. And the aura generally gets bigger when you've repaired the rips. Often the rips are in the top and the upper back, but they can really be anywhere. So you just think of the whole round aura and, cover your bases. Just get the gold light everywhere with the intention that you're washing out the rips and that you're fully repairing the rips with the gold light. What happens is they grow back. Your aura just grows back. It's not like you're just pasting gold light over the rips. You wash it out like as if it's soap and water kind of, and then it goes and just grows back. Okay, cool. So that was regular aura repair, or repair of your regular auras, your astral body aura and your physical body aura that we just did. So now let's do grounding, and then we'll do indie grounding, which is, in other words, not communal grounding, which, as I said, that helps with when the whole world is thinking about change and trying to fight for change, or half the world is. So grounding, I always recommend, create your grounding with your thought or your intention or vision, either way, but bring it up as high as your third chakra, which is right below your sternum bone. So I always forget what that's called these days. So bring your grounding up this high as your third chakra, and make it as wide as your aura all the way around you. Right? So it goes all the way down to the core of the earth, all the way down there. It stays wide all the way down. That's very key. So recreate it red or orange or yellow, and wide all the way down to the core of the earth, and bring it up as high as your third chakra, right? And then you can make a copy of that out in front of you and just comb through any rips in this aura, or any clogs. Just wash them out, melt them away. If there's anything weird that you can't clear, just say, angels, can you help me clear that? Don't just be like, because sometimes I'll find something in someone's grounding and they'll be like, yeah, I've been noticing that for a couple weeks. And it's like, well, didn't you ask your angels for help with it? Usually their answer is, no, I thought maybe it was just me. Like they just doubted their perception. They felt like, well, if it didn't clear right away, then I must be wrong. No, you're not wrong. It just didn't clear. So anyway, what are we doing? We are unblocking grounding, is what this is, right? Lots of gold light. So you have a copy of your grounding out in front of you, and you just make sure it's wide all the way down, unblock it. Okay, so that's just unblocking grounding, right? So then now we're going to do the indie grounding. I'm going to write down what time we're doing it. Okay, so indie grounding, I explained a little bit of it in the intro, but indie grounding is especially important now when there are these big global shifts going on of the global pandemic, the economic crashes that are occurring because of that, or the economic downturns that are occurring because of the pandemic, and also all the civil rights demonstrations and civil rights riots that are occurring in the US and demonstrations in support around the world. Thank you very much for pointing that out. But even just on a regular Tuesday, 5 years ago and 5 years in the future, it's just useful to just have your grounding be only for you. And even if your intention is, oh yeah, of course, I always create my grounding just for me, and I imagine it going all the way down. Okay, but the thing is, there's conscious intention, and then there's what's really happening. And like I said, there was like less than 10 people in all the 100. And I have a lot of, advanced meditators in this group. But anyway, so most people had some degree of communal grounding. So, let's say a motivated intermediate person, she had like 50% communal grounding. People were grounding to different groups, but they were grounding to large groups, meaning like rather than your grounding going just straight down all the way down, it was like that was happening, but then there was also these branches out, under the ground, going to a group, going to, say, the Democratic Party, your political party, or going to everyone in your country. Or, I have some clients that, have roots, family in several countries. So their grounding was going to not just the family members in those countries, but like masses of people in those countries. So that's the idea. That's communal grounding. And like I said, a lot of times it's very accidental. Some people were grounding, their communal grounding was going to the protesters in support of the protesters, but except it doesn't help them that way. That's not an effective way to help them. You can help protesters, of course, but that's not going to do it. Some people were, like I said, their communal grounding was going to the protesters. Other people, their communal grounding was going to, like if they were a therapist, their communal grounding was going to their clients. Or if they were like a healer, a pro healer, their communal grounding was going to their clients. Or, some people are like social workers, their grounding was going to their clients. Some people just, had business clients and their grounding was going to their business clients. So I think that this stuff has always been happening. It's just, it wasn't so noticeable. It wasn't creating so much imbalance before. But now, since these big shifts are happening with everybody, with the global pandemic, the economic aspects of that, and now the civil rights shifts, hopefully shifts, civil rights demonstrations, it's very obvious to me as I read each of the individual people, last night. As I did that, it was really obvious to me that it was having a hugely imbalancing effect to do any communal grounding whatsoever. And like I said, it does not help you to show support for that group. It just makes you feel crappy and spacey. So we don't want that. Okay, so indie grounding is the opposite of communal grounding. So indie or independent grounding, but my cute little name for it is indie grounding. I'll type it out again. Indie grounding. Okay, so all you do to do it is you're really clear about not doing the branch out style grounding. So you imagine this wide grounding that goes as high as your third chakra and all the way down to the core of the earth, and you focus actually much more on the outer surface of it. So you're like melting away. You can use gold fire, gold water, gold soap, whatever, but you're melting away the branch out parts, so that people can't branch into you. You're not going to branch into big groups of people or family members or anybody, because, like I said, it's just going to make everyone less able to create change. It's going to make everyone less stable if they're just mixing up groundings. So again, you imagine your grounding. I would suggest you do a copy out in front of you, and it should be like a big waterfall or a big, tree trunk or something, but without the spread going to other people at all. So just imagine the surface and just look for the branching out parts, and don't just think, oh, well, my intention is always to not have anyone in my grounding. It's not cutting it, I promise. I looked. I know the people that are big on intention and everything, and a lot of people are, but it's just not enough, particularly right now. So just go and imagine that outer surface of your grounding all the way down, and just melt off all the branching out to other people, other groups, other countries. In other words, like, if you're in London and you're doing a civil rights protest in support of American civil rights demonstrations, that's amazing, and you can create a big shift, but you'll create a bigger shift if you're not grounded to Americans. Just be yourself, and that way you'll have a lot more power to create a shift. So what are we doing? We're doing indie grounding, which specifically is just a specific type of healing for your grounding to make sure there's no branching off to other groups, to anyone but yourself. And this is good, especially if you have kids, I think, because then it's going to help your kids to have their own grounding and not ground into you. Because if people ground into other people, they tend to be more codependent. They're potentially manipulative as well, or just kind of passive, and they're overly attached to what people think of them. So if you have kids, even young kids, you're doing them a favor by encouraging them to have their own indie grounding, and you have your own indie grounding. Like in your mind, you can just think, like if you have a 3-year-old, just think, say her name is Betty, just say, hi, Betty, I'm a big tree, and you can be a big tree too, just like me, and then just wash her out of your grounding, and then just imagine, hey, Betty, you can be a big tree too. Go ahead, have big roots. There you go, straight down, not into me, straight down. There you go, good job, Betty. You see, so that's just on a spirit level, But, if you're open to teaching your kids on a conscious level, I think that's a fun exercise. Big tree exercise, be a big tree. So we're just finishing up doing the indie grounding. All right, good job, everybody. Woohoo! Okay, so then what are we doing next? Let me look. We already did aura repair. Let's do blanket exercise. Just because I talked about a lot in the intro that is potentially triggering. I talked about a lot of issues, cultural, social issues. And so it's good to clear things that may have been triggered by that. And that's true, even if you're not listening to one of my intros, just in life, after you watch the news or something, or you see some video that, has important information, but also is a little bit unsettling, that means you got triggered. What does getting triggered mean? It just means that some energy blocks that you had now are kind of right in the front of your aura somewhere, and they're kind of, vibrating, and you feel uncomfortable and unsettled. So you can clear those energy blocks, so then you again feel comfortable and stable, and actually better than before. Yay! So let's do that with blanket exercise at first. So just blanket exercise is its own video, blanket exercise. So if you search Janet Wright, blanket exercise, you would find it. But I'll link it below later in the comment section. So imagine a big old blanket out in front of you and just dump onto it anything that got triggered by my discussion of civil rights, by my discussion of the pandemic or financial upheaval or whatever, just any shifts, anything that's triggered even just subconsciously right now, whatever's making you uncomfortable, whatever's making you less present, right? If you have a health issue, if you're worried about something, whatever, just put it all out. And you can make many gold blankets if needed. I'm needing about 6 right now. So just make a whole bunch of piles on your blankets of just energy blocks that you need to clear. And then just say, angels, can you double check my piles? Just in your mind, angels, can you please double check my piles? And then your angels work fast, so that's good enough. And if there was something that was too much, they would have already taken it off your pile. So now you can melt your piles with gold light from your hands, or like maybe if a gold hose or a gold flamethrower, make it fun so that, you're more likely to do it again someday when you need it, like this afternoon or this evening or tomorrow. But just use lots of gold light and melt your piles. And it works faster if you just relax and maybe take a deep breath at the same time. You can think, I can let go, I can let go. Good job, guys. Good. So now we can go ahead and do, let's repair and unblock all major and minor chakras. All right, so we're gonna do that using composite copy, and it's super easy, way easier than it sounds like it's gonna be. With repairing and unblocking all your major and minor chakras, that means the major chakras along your spine, so your 7 chakras of your physical body and 7 chakras of your spirit body, they in the same location. One's in your physical body, one's in your spirit body, your astral body. But anyway, here's first chakra, second chakra, third chakra, fourth chakra, fifth chakra, sixth chakra, seventh chakra. If you want to learn more about chakras, if you like seeing things written, I have a 2-page handout I can email you that's very colorful and nice. And just has, some basic information about what each chakra does, blah, 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 location. You could email me at janet@janetwrightreadings.com and just say, hey, Janet, what about that free 2-page chakra handout? Can you send that to me? And you don't have to have ever gotten a healing from me before in order to email me that. That's not rude or something, Just say hi, let me know who you are, but I'm happy to send that to anybody. A free 2-page chakra handout. Otherwise, I have a video series called 7 Chakras Aura Layers Flow, which is nice, which will be linked below later by the end of the day in the comment section. It's a playlist that I have, 3 videos, 7 Chakras Aura Layers Flow, that explains a ton about chakras. But anyway, we're repairing major and minor chakras. So the minor chakras are really cool little ones all over the body that are like acupuncture points. Those are minor chakras, I would call them, even though they're super important. And then also minor chakra is like right here, you have chakra 4.5, which helps with hearing angels. And so that's super cool. And then your Kundalini chakra beneath your first chakra helps you with like inner pep and charisma, and also you turn it off to sleep well. So that's important. But anyway, so we're going to heal all those chakras, your 7 astral, your 7 physical, blah, 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 all the body ones, everything, right? So what you do to make that really easy is you make a composite copy, right? So you just imagine an open cylinder out in front of you, which is a composite copy of all those chakras, right? All your major and minor chakras. So you just imagine this cylinder with 2 round openings, right? And then you just heal it. Lots of gold light. And as you're healing this composite copy, it heals and repairs and unblocks all your major and minor chakras. So you can have like broken pieces off of the round openings, like the round opening, you can have like a chunk missing, or it can just be blocked, you know, with energy in the way of the energy flow through the round openings. So just you can take off the energy blocks and blow them up. Take them out of the round openings. You can ease the energy blocks out of, sometimes energy blocks can be wrapped around the chakra itself, so you could melt them as they're wrapped around the chakra, or just ease them off and blow them up. You can have gashes that shouldn't be in the sides of the chakras. You can just let the gold light melt those gashes and scratches. And probably the least complicated way too is you imagine a big gold tub of water, like gold healing energy, but like a tub of water. And you just dip your composite copy of all your major and minor chakras in that gold healing energy, the tub of gold healing energy. And that way it can just sit there and soak and heal itself. And you can have your sip of tea as it happens. And now, just to mention the theme, you know, strong, thriving survivor, right? So we want to heal you. You can heal your chakras so that you're clearing energy blocks and repairing wounds that happened, you know, during abuse, during trauma in this life or a past life, right? So just think about that you can be strong, that you can heal yourself, you can heal your wounds. I can heal my wounds, right? I can heal from past traumas. I can become stronger and stronger and stronger, right? You can just think about that, and that could really amp up your power as you do it, you know, just by supporting what you're doing with that intention, that affirmation. It helps. So you can think about, you know, I'm an eternal spirit. I have the ability to heal. You know, I have at the moment I have an email sign off that says you are a mighty eternal being. So you can think about that. You know, I'm a mighty eternal spirit. You know, or I'm a big eternal soul. You know, I can heal. And just, you know, there could be some energy blocks that trigger as we talk about, you know, strong, thriving survivor. You know, coming from a place of being hurt and then clearing the pain and the wounds, restoring yourself so that now you're stronger than you were even before the wounds, right? So clear any energy blocks that trigger as we say all that. You know, you can imagine them like rocks or maybe mud, you know, around your chakras, and just clear that off. You can hand it to your angels if you feel like it's too much to blow up. And something that we said, you know, that I was going to do at the end, which I'll probably still do at the end as well, but is that whole idea of being whole and healthy. That not that you're in denial of your wounds, but that you're identifying more strongly with your strength. So you could even have an affirmation like, I am whole and healthy. You know, each day I'm becoming more and more whole and healthy. You know, each day I'm becoming more and more strong and healthy. Although I will say, as on a physical level, muscular level, meditation, I'm a good example of how meditation is not enough to stay physically strong. You do need to stay physically active and work your muscles as you get older. Sometimes when you're young, you can be sort of passively strong, even though you're not doing anything physical. But as the body ages, you know, from what I've discovered, you will actually lose body strength if you're not using it, you know, use it or lose it. So physical muscles, you know, actually, you know, doing tasks that are somewhat strenuous on a regular basis is necessary to maintain physical strength. But the meditation, the affirmations, the chakra healing that we're doing right now is very, very good for emotional, mental, spiritual strength. So just a heads up that, you know, the physical strength would require physical tasks. So what are we doing? We're healing and repairing and unblocking all your major and minor chakras of your body and your spirit. And we're using our hands, but we're also using that gold tub of water if you want, the gold tub of healing energy. I think we're done with that. So you can blow up the tub of water. You can blow up your composite copy of all your major and minor chakras. Maybe let's do a like a one color earth energy soak. That could be nice. You could do tricolor, but I think we'll just do one color. Just to sort of change gears. So you could even recreate your grounding nice and wide and flowing all the way down to the core of the earth. Double check that it's still an indie grounding, that you haven't, you know, subconsciously due to habit branched out. And because some people have branched out and they're to a lesser degree, but go ahead and melt that away. Those offshoots that are going to your country, your even your genetic family, your political group, a political movement, you know, there are ways to support them that are really empowering for whoever you're trying to support, but that would not be one of them. So just melt away any communal grounding that you're doing, just so that you can be as present as possible and as powerful as possible, and then make a conscious choice as to, you know, effective ways to support others that if you wish. So what are we doing? We're just doing a little refresher on the indie grounding by imagining a copy of the grounding out in front, your grounding out in front of you, and then just the outer surface of it as it goes down to the core of the earth, just to make sure that you're melting away any parts that branch off to other people or other groups. Okay, good job. So then let's use that wonderful indie grounding that you have to do a one color earth energy soak. Just bring up red, or make your grounding red or orange or yellow, whichever you prefer at the moment, and then use it like a straw and bring up earth energy from the core of the earth at that color, and just soak your whole body and your spirit and your bones and everything in that earth energy, either red or orange or yellow, whatever's better for you right now. So that's just a one color earth energy soak, and as you can see, it's pretty fast. You know, you just bring up the earth energy and soak in it, and it's just very it's just nice, centering, comforting, stabilizing. And again, since you have an indie grounding, you're just bringing up the earth energy. That's it, and you get to soak in that. Somebody asked an interesting question. They said, well, I'm going to be going to a political demonstration later on today or tomorrow, and can I do my indie grounding and a one color earth energy soak while I'm in the demonstration? Would that be helpful? Yeah, that would be definitely helpful. Absolutely, you could do indie grounding while you're a part of a demonstration, and you'd be able to be way more present and create a bigger ripple effect, bigger positive ripple effect. And yeah, that would be interesting to play with. Also, if you have to go to a store or whatever, or, if you're watching the news, you're watching something political, just double check that you have your indie grounding, just so that you can be more you. Okay, great. So we did the one color soak. We redid the indie grounding. So next, let's do the energy channels. Energy pathways in the body and the spirit. which includes, big energy channels like down your arms, which help with manifesting and self-healing, and big energy channels up your legs, which help with bringing up earth energy, but also energy channels that are maybe not as giant, like all these important meridians of your physical body, that are really key for physical health and well-being and all sorts of stuff. Also mental, emotional stuff, they have a big impact. Another big energy channel is, up and down the spine. So anyway, we're going to unblock and repair all energy channels of the body and spirit. And that way you'll be less leaky. You'll be less likely to leak energy, which is very good. It helps you to have more energy, and also helps you to be less likely to attract, invasive beings or manipulative people, because you won't seem vulnerable. You won't seem leaky. Okay, so it's just as easy as the chakra one that we did, very similar in method. You were using composite copy. So you imagine a composite copy. I gotta get a prop, hold on. There we go. I found the pretty catalog that I was using a few months ago for my, turns out we still have it. Okay, so this little flower catalog, this will be a prop, just to show you, an energy channel composite copy, right? So you just imagine a composite copy that represents all your energy channels that I just described. The big ones like in your arms and your spine and your legs, and also the less big ones but important ones like the energy meridians in your physical body. Also the big ones in your spirit body. So anyway, so you imagine, you just think, you don't need a magazine. I'm just showing you what your energy composite copy could look like. But so you make that composite copy of all your energy channels, and then you heal it, repair it, and unblock it. So the repair means, because you can have little holes in your energy channels. That's really, really common, actually. Particularly in the shoulder ones, the leg ones, people leak so much around the knees, all the major joints, people are leaking all the time. So we don't want that, right? So just surround it in gold light. So I'll use my little prop so you can maybe imagine it better. So you just surround it in gold light. You don't have to see to do this, right? Because you can do it by intention or thought or imagination. And the gold light is just going to wash out any holes that shouldn't be there and heal them up. And then you want to unblock by, you send gold light in one end and let it come out the other end, and just let the gold light melt away any blocks that are inside these energy channels to the extent that is healthy and gentle. That's your intention, that you only want to unblock what's good to do right now. So, and we can use another gold tub of universal healing energy. So just make a gold little tub out in front of you and fill it with gold universal healing energy, and then just dunk your composite copy in your tub of gold light, so that you can just relax and have a sip of tea or something while the gold light does the work for you. And that could be especially useful, for example, if you're cooking right now, or you're carrying a pet or a child or something. You don't have both hands free. Make your tub of gold light and dunk it in there. And you can even just with your hands, just kind of imagine that you can grab the energy blocks that are healthy and gentle to clear and just blow them up. Grab the energy blocks, blow them up. Grab the energy blocks, blow them up. Grab the energy blocks, blow them up. And again, strong, thriving survivor is our theme, right? So any energy blocks that are in the way of you being a strong, whole, healthy, thriving survivor, right? So to sort of come to transcend the harm that has been done to you, right? So that you can feel empowered and whole and strong more and more, you know, not like perfect overnight or something, but you can kind of lead with your strength, right? Sometimes that's too hard to do if you have too many energy blocks in the way. You know, it becomes like sort of wishful thinking, but it just doesn't feel real. But if you clear the energy blocks, then it becomes real. So just imagine maybe it's like mud or rocks, you know, the energy blocks, and you just blow them up. Or the gold light can dissolve them all. And then just, you can swish that composite copy of all your energy channels in the gold tub, you know, so let the gold light go through the energy channels, this energy channel composite copy, so that you're unblocking the energy channels to the extent that is healthy and gentle. All right. And these energy channels have a protective force field around them. Well, they're supposed to. But if you get harmed, sometimes that force field breaks down. So that force field, it can be different colors depending on which energy channel it is. So you don't really have to think about, I mean, for example, like this energy channel carries energy from your upper chakras. So probably if you're using the rainbow system, then that energy is green, blue, and purple, right? So it's like peacock, pretty colors. Green, blue, and purple. So that would be the color of this energy channel. But so your protective force field around it could be that same color. So you don't have to worry about that because each energy channel is going to have a different color force field. Just heal your composite copy enough around it so that whatever force field is supposed to be there can grow back. It's like when you repair your aura, you're not really thinking about the color. You don't have to think about the color of each layer. You just heal the rips and it grows back the colors it's supposed to be, right? So same thing with this. Just now you're thinking about the space around the energy channel, the composite copy of energy channels, so that you're just healing this force field so that the force field grows back and is whole all around the composite copy. And that's just a nice extra protection. All right, good job. Woohoo. All right, great. We've done a lot. We'll have a quiet moment because I just want to double check exactly where people are at a little more deeply, and then we'll proceed with more healing. So you can just have a beverage if you want, or just think to yourself, how am I doing? Or maybe some deep breaths, or wiggle your toes, give yourself a hand massage, all sorts of fun options. Okay, thanks for waiting. So I was talking with angels and thinking and reading everybody. So it is true that, a lot of people had issues with being scattered. Being scattered means there's some of you in and around your physical body, but then little parts of you have scattered. They're, far away in different locations. Usually it's a reaction to stress, right? So the communal grounding that people had accidentally was causing a lot of that scattering, but we still need to directly address the scattering as well. And fortunately, it's super easy anyway. So let's do that. So I'm just writing this down so I can later put the timestamp. So this would be called Be Less Scattered. What we're going to do, and like I said, we still do have to do a little bit of it, even though we already did indie grounding, which helps a lot with this. But like, for example, one of my participants, she's a mom. She's the telepathic consent. She, like, her spirit likes the healings a lot, but consciously it's her daughter, her adult daughter, who pays for her to get the healings, right? So I'm just using her as an example. People pay for a lot of their family members or loved ones to get healings, and sometimes they both consciously know about it, you know, and sometimes they don't, because maybe consciously they're less open-minded, but I ask their spirit and their spirit's like, yeah, so then of course I can include them. But anyway, so this woman's mom, she was about 40% scattered before the start of the healing, and a lot of that was due to the communal grounding that she was doing to her family, to her culture, to a political group. But now that she's not, now that she just has indie grounding right now, she's 10% scattered. So she went from being 40% scattered, mostly due to the communal grounding problem, accidental communal grounding, to being only 10% scattered with indie grounding, right? But we're going to help her even more, and everybody else, so that there's zero scattering. So you're all here, because that makes you a lot more strong and robust and able to handle challenges and able to create change, positive change. Okay, so easy. What you do is you just imagine, like, the, you know, a lot of you's here, right? But you imagine, so there's like a mini you maybe, and then you imagine just little balls of your energy that has scattered. So, you know, just little bunches of your energy far away, but you just imagine a copy of it. So you're not going far away right now. You're here, right? Right? You can touch your face or something, wiggle your toes, feel that. So there's little you, right? There's a copy of you, and then there's the far away yous, right? Little far away parts of you. And just run gold light through these far away parts of you. And that's it. And the gold light is going to help these far away parts of you feel a lot better and clear whatever trauma or stress, clear whatever stuck energy made you want to go away. Because, you know, a lot of times you can't control the outside world, right? But you can control your reaction to the outside world. You can control, like, if you get triggered, you can control clearing those triggers so that now you're stable again. You're not triggered. You're not, you know, all strung out, right? So, so that's in a way what we're doing. We're helping these parts of you that were so triggered that they just checked out. You just imagine those parts of you and just let them get better. So you're kind of your own hero right now, and you're just and too, this is a very empowering ripple effect that you're creating by just doing this for yourself. Because here there are these, you know, lost and vulnerable parts of you, and you're healing them so they can come back, and they just naturally start coming back to you, these parts of you, because they're better now. They got healed with the gold light. All right, good job. Woohoo. All right, what's next? Oh yeah, so much good stuff. Yeah, we're not going to do Wei Chi stuff today. I can tell. Let's see. You know what? We're going to do the teeniest version. we are going to do a teeny version, a teeny interesting version, you'll see. But anyway, we're going to do timeline healing right now. It's kind of a sped up version. Timeline healing is sort of like an interesting version of piles healing, or you know, the blanket exercise that we already did, where you make piles of energy blocks and you melt them away. So with timeline healing, you just imagine like a line that represents time. So, you know, like there's a part on the line that represents now, and then before that is like earlier in this life, and before that is a bunch of past lives that you've had, right? And I would suggest that you not overthink it, and also don't fixate on the future part of it. Just think about the, you know, now and the past, and past in your past lives. And just imagine piles on this line of, you know, trauma energy that is really good to clear right now. You're ready to clear it. You just haven't gotten to it, but it'd be so good, and you're totally ready as a spirit, not too much to do. So just imagine a bunch of piles like that, you know, at various places on your timeline. And if you want, if you notice anything interesting, you can just kind of use your intuition and be like, oh, that was when I was this age, or oh, that's interesting. You know, or oh, that's a past life. Was I male or female? That's interesting. You know, like you can intuit a little bit if you want, but we're not going to do much right now. But if you want, you can maybe clear a bunch of the timelines and then have fun with it, or it just depends. You can do what you feel, but like you could pause the video and just intuit. But the idea is to clear the pain, not to like spend your life thinking about it. So you imagine your timeline, you imagine some piles of baggage that's really good to clear right now that relates to, you know, anything in the way of you becoming a strong, thriving survivor, right? Stronger than you were even before. So you imagine your piles, and then you say, angels, can you please double check my piles? And then, you know, your angels did it. So now you know it's not too much for you to clear, because if it was, they removed little parts of it. And then just lots of gold light, and just melt away whatever's on all the piles that you imagine. Just melt those away with gold light, or gold fire, gold water. You can blow up the piles too if you're more in the mood for that. And it works better if you just relax. You can maybe have a deep breath or wiggle your toes, feel how that feels. That way you won't be too fixated in your piles. I love, sometimes I hear people's reactions like on a spirit level, and they're like, oh wow, that was nice. It's cute. Wow, so much cleared. Wow, I didn't think that was gonna clear. Wow, that was easy. That's cute. All right, so that was timeline healing. And to clear up victim trauma, energy, baggage, stress, lots of extreme stress, stuff like that. Let's do it again, just real quick. So make a new timeline. Here's now, here's the past. Don't overthink it. And just make piles, you know, dump on the timeline, any, or just imagine on the timeline, any piles of baggage that need to be cleared, that you're ready to clear, that would help you to be more and more of a strong, thriving survivor. You know, any victimization baggage that hasn't been cleared yet, or extreme stress baggage, or trauma baggage. And just say, angels, can you double check my piles? And then go ahead and melt the piles. Deep breath. You can think about letting go. I can let go. Oh, it's so cute. One of my newbies was like, oh, the second time it was so much easier. Yeah, that can happen that way. That's why if you listen later to a video of a process that you've done before, you can do it like in 1/10 of the time that I'm describing. So you could just do it a bunch of times, you know. Just have your angels check so you're not overdoing it, but you know, you can keep clearing. You do a bunch, you know, if you have time, why not? Okay, so we did the quick version of the timeline. timeline clearing. Right, so now we can call back your energy. A little video version of that is, I'll link it below later, but it's if you search Janet Wright callback bring in on YouTube, you'll find it. That has two different techniques, but one of them is calling back your energy. Okay, so you can just make any gold three-dimensional object that you can use like a magnet to call back your own life force and your own innocence energy. We can do that all at once since we're short on time. So just if you want like a gold cube or a gold big sphere or a gold little U-shaped magnet, you know, that just gets bigger the more energy you bring back. I usually like that expanding thing so you can see like, wow, look at all that energy I brought back. But, you know, so you just imagine whatever gold object you made and then just use it with your intention like a magnet. So you stay here, you just call back your life force. And it can be from people that have harmed you in the past, or just maybe in a location or a time where you were victimized. You may have left a lot of energy there. So just don't overthink it. Just let the gold magnet call back your energy from wherever it was left. Maybe you left it there on purpose, maybe you left it there by accident. So just call back your unique life force and say, angels, can you clean all this off? Can you clean my energy off? And then give it to yourself. Okay, so let's do that again. Just make a big gold 3D object, whatever shape you like, and use it like a magnet. And so your intention is you're using this magnet to call back your unique life force and your innocence energy, because innocence energy in particular is, we could add empowerment energy too, but innocence energy is one of those energies that tends to check out during times of abuse. But it's really super doable to call it back, and it's so restorative once it's back. It's really wild. So anyway, so you're calling back your life force, your innocence energy, your confidence energy, your empowerment energy, whatever else you want to add, you know, but just call back your energy into your gold little magnet that you made, and the magnet could expand to show you how much energy you're calling back. And then just say, angels, can you please double check this? Clean off all my energy. And then give it to yourself. Good job. Woohoo. Right. Okay, so the quick and dirty version of Wei Chi work that we're going to do right now is we're going to do a super quick version of repairing your Wei Chi auras. Wei Chi auras are 15 auras that you have as a spirit. You have as an eternal spirit, you have these extra auras. There are 15 of them. They all occupy the same space, and so they're like big auras, you know, around you as a spirit. And they help with strong energy boundaries. So we're going to do a quick healing and repair of those, just whatever's healthy and gentle to do really fast. And then the rings, we're going to do something cool where you can recreate the 15 gold rings, you know, that are there. These Wei Chi auras, they have these rings at the top, the bottom, and the back and the front. Like back here, up here, around at the level roughly of where your third chakra would be. But your Wei Chi auras don't have chakras, but you get the idea. It's like right around there, back here and up here. And then up top, at the top of each Wei Chi aura and at the bottom of each Wei Chi aura, there's a gold ring. And those gold rings, they vibrate together and they just strengthen the force field of that Wei Chi aura. But they can get all bashed up and destroyed, those rings. So an easy thing is you can just recreate all 15, you know, in each location. So basically, what is that? 60 of them. You could recreate all 60 at once. Oh, that is kind of cool. So first let's do, I mean, if you just did that, that's fine. We'll do it again in a sec. But let me know what time this is. So a quick comb through of the Wei Chi Auras, your 15 Wei Chi Auras, and just use gold light to repair as much as is healthy and gentle to repair right now with your Wei Chi Auras. Because Wei Chi Auras are a big deal, and so it's good to think about, okay, well, whatever I can do right now that is not too much. So you're repairing your Wei Chi Auras just by running gold light through, and your intention is that the gold light finds the ripped places that should be repaired right now and just starts that repair process. And if anything needs to be cleared out of your Wei Chi Auras right now, and it's healthy and gentle to do that, then you're doing that with the gold light. And then, like I said, we're going to just instantly recreate all the Wei Chi Aura rings. So if doing all 60 at once is too much for you, just Shazam, you gotta do them all at once, then you can just imagine the 15 up top and just recreate those all at once, and the 15 at the bottom and just recreate all those at once with your intention. 15 in the back, recreate all those, and the 15 in the front, recreate all those. And just let them resonate all together at the same time. And everybody that I'm healing, the 100 participants, everybody did do it. Because some people are like, did I do it? I think I just did it. Did I do it? Yes, you did. So even like newbies did, even like, you know, people's relatives, they all did it. See, because a lot of stuff on a spirit level is easier than you would think it is. So that's good. All right. So we're almost done. We're gonna do a super quick version of the good karma windows. So if you want to know what they are, you could watch an older video if you just search Janet Wright, good karma windows. And then look for a timestamp of where I talked about them. That's just if you want. But those are in the back of your aura. It's sort of like your fifth chakra is here, you know, in your throat. So the back of that and the base of the skull right here, behind all that, like between here and the end of the edge of your aura, like this whole space, each of these layers has a window, like a triple frame window. And these windows help keep you safe back here. And when they're all whole and healed and repaired and not clogged up, then they help you to receive good karma from the universe through these windows, just gentle, nice, supportive amounts. So we don't have a ton of time. So we're just going to imagine all those windows back there. And if you use the rainbow system, so your first chakra is red, then that would mean this window back here in the first layer is red. And your second chakra, if you use that rainbow system, is orange. And then so that window back here is orange. But you don't have to think about it. Just imagine all the windows and just use gold light and repair them all. Well, just comb through them at first. And then let's make a, let's do like a, you can do gold net or gold burrito, but just, or freeze any beings that are in that area and any hard objects. We'll do it all at once. So any hard objects that are stuck in this area, you can get like a spear that's just like, you know, driven through some of these windows. So you might have like a hard object there, or you might have just a couple beings hanging out. So just net all that up at once, or wrap a gold burrito around it, you know, of gold energy, and just trap it all there, or freeze it, and then just take it out all at once. Give it to your angels. Here you go, angels. And do that again. Just wrap it around any little beings in the way there, any hard objects, just ease them all out. So here you go, angels. If you feel like there's still some weird stuff in there, maybe a few beings, maybe that weirded you out to do it like that, then just say, angels, can you recycle all those beings that are in my messing, any beings that are messing with my good karma windows. Okay, and so then now we can repair them all. You could just use your intention, and just like we recreated the Wei Chi Aura rings really fast, you could just recreate them really nicely. Just let your higher self, your inner wisdom part of you that knows what they should look like, and just don't overthink it. Just let them be recreated. So they're nice windows. They're, you know, they're sealed up. They just let in good karma energy. They don't. Otherwise, they just keep you safe. So all these nice windows back here, and if that's too much for you, just say, angels, can you repair all this stuff back here? That'd be good enough. Angels, can you repair all this stuff back here? Yeah, so that worked. Good job, guys. Even the angels, can you repair all this stuff back here one, that worked. I checked on somebody who did that. So good job. We might be very close to being done. Yeah, just really quickly recreate your telepathic mesh. That's like a nice gold mesh out in front of your 5th layer. So you have layers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So in your 5th layer, right about here, there's this nice gold mesh right here. So you can just, yeah, you can just recreate it. Just with the wise part of you that knows about it, just redo it. Just imagine it and destroy the old one and make a new one. And if that freaks you out, you can say, angels, can you please, you know, recreate my telepathic mesh? And if you want more information on that, just search Janet Wright telepathic mesh. And there's a whole walkthrough on that. I'll try to remember to link that below later today as well. We're almost done. So, broadcasting as whole and healthy, right? So broadcasting, not meaning that you're screaming out to the world so much, but like I said, your 7th chakra in the top of your head, it has to do with confidence, identity, creative inspiration, identity. Yeah, I'm repeating myself. But anyway, if you have an identity that you're strong and whole, that's sort of a sound that you're making that people can pick up on, and beings can pick up on super easily. People pick up on it subconsciously mostly. But so you could just literally put your hand right here if you want, or you could have a copy out in front of you of your 7th chakra and just heal it and just wash out of it anything, melt away with gold light, anything that keeps you from feeling strong and healthy. You know, and you can also just sort of align to your vibration of strength, your vibration of wellness. So that way it's not, you know, you don't want to be someone else's idea of strength or wellness, because that's not you, so it won't actually be strengthening. So just, you know, maybe gold light, either with your hand directly or like this, you know, with a copy of your 7th chakra in front of you. 7th chakra is oriented differently than 6 through 1, because 7th chakra, the round openings are at the top and the bottom of the 7th chakra. It's still an open cylinder like the others, but it's small and it's in the top of your head right there. So the top of your 7th chakra is like right here in your head, in the top of your head. So you could imagine like your 7th chakra, just round opening, and just heal it and melt away anything that is sort of a pain identity, any sort of way in which you're kind of leaning into your weaknesses, and that is what's broadcasting out to the world. Just, you can heal those weaknesses. You don't have to fix all of them. You can just acknowledge them and, you know, heal them a little bit each day, even just with your intention. Say each day, I want to heal myself more and more. If you say that, it's more likely that you're going to be doing it, even subconsciously. I want to heal myself more and more. Something like that. You don't have to use those words, but. So anyway, just align to your own strength, your own wellness. What is wellness for you? What is strength for you? And then just allow yourself to, as you have deep breaths, think about, I could be strong and healthy each day. I could be more strong and healthy, whatever version of that you like. All right, good job. So as I said, the purpose of that, well, there are a lot of purposes. It affects how you feel about yourself. It affects the actions that you take, how you react to the world, but it also affects how the world reacts to you. And, unfortunately, sometimes negative forces might seek out somebody who is leaning into their weaknesses, or, more has an identity wrapped up in their wounds. And that is not good. You don't want to attract people who are looking for, more controllable people, right? You want to just lean into your strengths, heal your weaknesses, but lean into your strengths and be your strengths, right? Be your strengths, heal your weaknesses, right? That's why, several times in this session, you were your own hero, And that could be an interesting affirmation too. I am my own hero. So you could align to, something like that. I am strong. I am mighty. I am eternal. I have the ability to heal and restore. Each day I want to heal and restore myself more and more. I have strength. I am strong. Whatever phrases work for you, align to your strength. What is strength to you? What is wellness to you? And just align to it, meaning you kind of just, with your intention, your thought, you set your seventh chakra, your own seventh chakra, to your own sense of strength and wellness. I was going to do this whole extra thing, which isn't that long, so it would be easy, but where you become more open to angel help. But actually, what we just did that. Like, that was the side effect of changing how you're broadcasting, changing how you're aligning, and aligning to your strength. And your own wellness. That actually, I'm checking with the people that were especially blocked to their angel's help, it fixed it. Maybe not forever, but so that's kind of cool and interesting. So what was that? That was broadcasting. And aligning. It's the same thing as whole and healthy. Or, your version of that. Okay, so I'm just going to double check that everyone's in a good spot, that we're going to wrap up. And again, double check your indie grounding. Check that outside surface of your grounding as it goes down to the center of the earth and melt away. Because some people, it's starting up a little bit. It's like each time it's starting up less than it was before. But so just a heads up, you might have to check that for like a little bit on and off. Make sure you have indie grounding. But melt away all the branching off to political parties or your country or your family or social groups, and just just have grounding just for you, because that way you're more able to help others if you want. You don't have to help others, you know, there's no obligation, but this way you're as strong and as stable as you can be, so that if society and cultures are shifting, you can be very comfortable with that. So again, this is just a refreshing your indie grounding by washing off this outer surface of your grounding with lots of gold light to melt away any branching off. All right. So good job, guys. Woohoo! So you could say now, if you want, you know, angels, can you please give me a blessing and a healing? And your angels will know what little leftovers you need to clear. But people are clearing a lot now. I think that the indie grounding did a lot, and also the you know, the aligning to your strength and your empowerment did a lot. All right, so the healing is over. The monster big healing. So we'll just, we're not going to do a separate Q&A today. We will do a separate Q&A on Sunday, by the way, in 2 days after the Sunday healing. I don't think the Sunday healing will go quite as long, knock on wood. We'll see. But anyway, I'm just going to try to catch up here just briefly. But if someone gives me a big, long question, I'm just going to say, gee, wouldn't it be nice if you would ask that in the Q&A? Or you can ask it under any video. You can post a question under any of my videos. And, you know, within like, these days, just within a week or two, I'll get back to you and post an answer under it. But anyway, if you participated, if you received the healing from me and you healed yourself, or you received the healing from me and you just, you know, relaxed or cleaned your house while you got the healing, I'm interested in how you feel. If there was a favorite part of the healing or any comments you want to make. Also, if you did not receive the healing from me, but you healed yourself as you watched, I'm interested in how you feel, how the techniques were for you. So if you want, you could text a brief little thing. But like I said, this is going to be somewhat quick. I'm going to try to watch time and make it like 10-15 minutes. So we'll see. We'll see how I do that. Oh, someone said hello before it started, so thank you very much for that. I didn't really acknowledge that, but that was cute too. Hello. Got more flowers. Hi. So it says, hello, Janet. My intention is to unblock whatever is blocking my grounding at that time, 2 feet all around from 3 chakra down. Yep. So he was just describing his grounding. Someone says, hi, Janet. Great job, Janet. I have learned so much about myself in a fun, knowledgeable way. Thank you. You're very welcome. Someone says, hi, Janet. Hello. Someone says, hi, Janet. Regarding your terming of angels, obviously a lot of people, including myself, may have connotations with that word. I have been using the term guardians instead. This okay? So I think what you're getting at is that there are certain organized religions that talk about angels. And what I would say is, you know, my husband has this expression that nobody is 100% wrong. You know, so even if you're not like into organized religion, and I am definitely not into organized religion. I mean, you know, I don't mind if a client is into a certain organized religion, but it's just not my thing. You know, it doesn't mean that they're wrong, that there are no angels. There really are angels. You know, there are even archangels. So there are some religions that talk about angels, or whatever they want to call them. You know, some like in, you know, Buddhism, they call, you know, they call them deities. And I would say those are just really significant, important angels. So, different organized religions use that term, but it still is a true phenomenon that there are these divine helpers, as far as I'm concerned. So my problem with guardians, it depends, for you, how you're using that word. My problem is if, a lot of people, they'll use like a term like my guides instead. But the problem is a lot of those people, guides is less picky, because guide is like, well, any spirit that I feel like is helping me, right? And I'm going to call them my guides. But the problem is many people are not picky enough, and they take advice from whatever random being just, shows up looking all smart and wise. But there are a lot of beings that I would call fake angels that kind of play that shtick, and they're like, oh, I can help you and I'm wise, and they really just hang out in the back of your aura and take a lot of your energy. So that's why I would be careful using a term that's not angels, just because, but if for you guardians means angels, then go for it. But if guardians means more like that sort of guides thing, which is just anyone that's helpful, that's a little iffy, because I don't play that way, It's like, because there are a lot of beings that pretend to be very wise, but they're not angels. And so because they're not angels, they can be invasive, which is a big deal, because then you can be manipulated, you can lose energy to them, and it's a big deal. So that's the thing about the terms. That's why I keep using the term angels, even though for some people that implies a certain religion or something. It's just an unfortunate thing that, like my husband says, nobody's 100% wrong, like, even though I'm not trying to endorse a religion, the fact that a certain religion would use the word angel doesn't mean I'm not going to use that word, because it describes a very specific thing spiritually. Man, that was a long answer. So I would just say, look at, among your term guardians, look at, okay, well, which are real angels and which are fake angels? Because I think you have like maybe 20% of your guardians are actually what I would call fake angels. So then you just ask your real angels to get rid of the fake angels. And then you're good. But you could periodically check for that. Do I have fake angels? Beings that act all wise and strong, but they're invasive and they're not actually a part of the divine system that is completely altruistic and completely non-invasive. Okay. Hi, Janet. This is a beautifully timed session. So helpful. Thank you. Yeah, the angels, man. It's just funny how they can time stuff like that. Someone says, can you specifically call for negative beliefs that are influencing you in this life or on your timeline? Have your angels check and then clear it? Yeah. So negative beliefs that are influencing you, absolutely. Those negative beliefs are typically, one or several energy blocks. And so, yeah, you can do timeline healing for negative beliefs. And conscious and subconscious negative beliefs. Yeah, absolutely. And just those would be just the energy blocks. And for example, you could have a negative belief that is conscious or subconscious in this life that's caused by energy blocks from a past life. So yeah, you just imagine the timeline, imagine energy blocks relating to negative beliefs, and have your angels double check it and then melt them all away. Yeah, and you can keep doing that regularly if you want. Someone says, a bit delayed of a response, but I had been cooking until now. Interesting grounding with groups. I have been very mindful to not get swept up in unpredictable group energy lately. Yeah, you were like one of the 7 people, one of the 7 or 8 people that was not doing communal grounding. So yes, that worked. Someone says, hi, Janet. Have you ever thought about creating a Healing Your Aura Grounding Chakras app? I would buy it. Apps are funny because, apps on phones, because you have to keep programming them to keep them current with, the different kind of phones that are out there and the new operating systems that the phones come up with. So it's a continual programming job. And I just am not interested in that. I like simplicity. My life is complicated enough, and I'm not trying to be an app developer. Yeah. But I understand that I'm missing a group of people that would only meditate if it was on an app. But, oh well. But yeah, interesting question, and I have thought about it. Someone said, I feel great, but a little triggered. The indie grounding was awesome. Yeah, I'm glad you like it. I think you just have a lot of new energy that you're bringing in. You don't look particularly triggered to me. Maybe you were when you wrote it and then you cleared it. But yeah, you just look like you're bringing a lot of new energy. And so maybe it's just some deep breaths, maybe hug yourself. Okay, someone says, feeling very good, thank you. Although feeling some small wax, still my dad. Yeah, but you're just really sensitive now. Oh yeah, I never say it consciously anymore, which is silly. Redo your goal buffer zones, everybody, if you know what those are. Just redo your goal buffer zones. If you don't know what those are, I just typed it Janet Wright Gold Energy Aura Buffer Zones. That's how you would find the video, although I'll link it below later too. But gold buffer zones are really useful, and but I think that's what you're feeling. You're even feeling intuitively when you're just getting a rip in your gold buffer zone even. So, which is cool. But you can just redo your buffer zone. I guess your question is it your dad? Yeah, it's your dad. But it's because you just took a big leap forward with this healing. And he is big time communal grounding. I mean, that may be the last thing he wants to be doing, but he has like 80% of his grounding is communal. Grounding to other groups, cultural groups or social groups or family groups or all of the above. So you could just center yourself and then just say, hi dad, ask your angels about indie grounding. Ask your angels to help you with indie grounding. And the angels know whatever terms we're making up, they know what we're saying. So then, he can learn that fast with his angels. So it says, feel pretty good. Feels like I cleared a bunch of past life punishment agreements from the root chakra. Is that what it was? You tend to deeply analyze what just happened, and let's see. I mean, my perception of what just shifted for you, I mean, I think just not just the indie grounding, I think it's just huge for you. And yeah, I think just clear that the timeline healing was very effective for you. So I'll leave it at that. Someone says, I feel good. I hope my mom and my boyfriend feel the same too. Who also got the healing. Yeah, your mom seems much more, she seems relieved. She gets so worked up on things. So yeah, she seems like she took it down a couple notches, as far as like more calm, less frenzy. The group grounding stuff really affects her. So her indie grounding right now is suiting her very well. Your boyfriend, he is moving forward now. Before he was kind of a little stuck. Trying to be fast here. So if someone said a double comment, it's commented again, I may not read it because I want to get through all these. Someone says, it's the first time I couldn't participate and half listened. I can't wait to heal myself on Sunday, watching live stream and see how I feel compared to half listening. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah, I mean, just receiving the healing does a lot. So, and you can do the video later. A lot of times, for people that maybe wanted to do live but they couldn't, catching up with the video on their own time is good enough. Someone says, awesome, I feel so much better. Good, I'm glad. Yeah, you needed it. And so yeah, you do look way better. So it says, even though you teach us so many techniques, the simple ones are more powerful. Your vision to detect the branching and the grounding is so effective to make us individualized. Thank you, Janet. Yeah, I'm glad. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny that it took, I mean, I've seen grounding branching, but not to the level that I saw preparing for this healing. I just think that, you know, the angels help me see it better because it's so important right now for everybody. Someone says, hi, Janet, thanks for the healing. Was I one of the people whose grounding was courting to others? Yeah, like I said, like over 90% of the people were courting, had serious communal grounding issues. Subconscious, accidental, but yeah. So yeah, it was definitely, you were one of them. Yeah, no, your grounding was not totally indie. I would say it was maybe 40% communal, 60% indie before the healing. I mean, because the idea is your intention, what you want is often different than what's actually happening. So you got to double check. That's the whole point of conscious meditation, that you're double checking things. Conscious healing. Thanks, Janet. Someone says, thanks, Janet. I seem to weave in and out of feeling up and feeling down throughout this session. I feel like this for several days now. Well, thank you for the context. That's useful. Yeah, keep working that indie grounding thing. Because I think when you have indie grounding, you're feeling up, and when you have more communal grounding, you're just like drowning in the communal anxiety and conflict and upheaval. So I would say just keep checking that indie grounding, and that should help you to. I think, you know, it takes a while to get to a healthier default mode, you know, and so before you had sort of an unhealthy default mode all the time, and now you have healthy, unhealthy, healthy, unhealthy. So it's a little weird to bounce back and forth, but at least you're bouncing to a good place half the time, you know. So just keep bringing the indie grounding, because I think that'll keep you longer in the good place, sort of, you know, in the good space. And then you know, over time, then you'll bounce back less to the you know, group pain stuff. So, I mean, you're making progress. Try to validate that. Someone says, thank you, Janet. Feel very relaxed. P.S. This happened during a lunar eclipse here. Oh, very cool. Super cool. Thanks for letting me know. I appreciate that. That is very neat. Someone says, thanks, Janet. It's what I thought. Oh, good. About the angel versus guardian question. Someone says, also feeling a little prickly feeling in my face, through arms and upper shoulders. Is this a side effect of the healing? Potentially. Yeah, I would say if it's a bad prickly, then I don't know what that is. That could be a cord somewhere, so you could just melt cords. But if it's a good prickly, then yeah, it's just you're more here. So good prickly is like more commonly, yeah, would be an effect of just getting more present than you have been in a while. Thank you. Someone says, thank you for the healing. A bunch of tiny blocks that were triggering me are gone, and I finally feel fully grounded. Yes. Yeah, the indie grounding thing was like very big for you. A lot of people, I didn't even mention this in the healing, so I guess it's good that it's coming up now. There's the indie grounding, and then people were kind of over giving, you know, giving their life force, like say to protesters. Like if you really feel for the civil rights protesters, some people were actually giving away their life force to the protesters in different countries or different, you know, their city maybe, you know, and just, you know, like, I mean, you can give money, say, to a bail organization that helps protesters make bail that were, you know, jailed, you know, even though they were peacefully protesting, they were all thrown in jail, you know. So there are organizations that help those people, you know, with legal help or with, you know, bail money, stuff like that. So that's different than just giving your life force to them, which just blocks them up and blocks you up, and then you're feeling all weird and spacey. So I think the calling your energy back really helped. In addition to the clearing that we did, calling your energy back and the indie grounding, I think was big for you, because you're such a sweetie. And a lot of my clients are, and they just want to give and help. And the idea is not that there's no way to give and help. It's just there are ways to give and help that make a bigger positive ripple effect and are from a place of power and safety versus, just kind of getting lost in the group pain and not making as big of a difference and kind of screwing yourself in the process. Someone says, was I part of the healing anything? Well, if that is your actual name, then you didn't pay me for the healing. Like what I did was I was healing 100 people that paid on my website before it sold out, the healing. And so I was literally healing those 100 people that went to my website and paid the money. It's not a lot of money, but it's some money. And so you would know if you went to my website and paid or not. I mean, if that's your name, then no, you did not go to my website and pay. So you were not one of the people that I just healed. You could have watched and healed yourself as I was doing it, though. And in which case, you're welcome. And how was it for you? Is my question. But yeah, no, if that's your name, then I did not heal you myself. But I'd be very open to it in the future if you did want to pay for one of the upcoming healings. There's 25 spots left for the one that is later this month, the Healing Masterclass on June 21st, which I don't want to misspeak about the theme, so I'm going to look it up. Let's see if I can see it first or somebody else is going to text it to me. So 25 spots left. Yeah, I thought so. Creativity and self-expression is the one coming up. So June 21st, that's the third Sunday, and that is the Healing Masterclass, which is like a big long healing like this one, but it's mixed in with archangel help and messages from the archangels, specifically Ariel and Jophiel. But you can sit in on any of the healings I do. You can look on my website to find out when the healings are going to be and the themes, and not pay and just heal yourself and watch live on any of those dates. You're welcome to do that. So hope that makes sense. Welcome, welcome. Someone said deep breaths worked wonderfully. Thank you. You're welcome. So Mrs. Chan, thank you. I love you. Feeling amazing. Have a great day. You're welcome. That healing must have helped. You're welcome. Thank you. So it says, hi from Torrelodones, España. Hello. Someone says, thank you, Janet. Well, thank you. So I don't know if I just got all the messages, but maybe I should assume that I just did get all the messages. Let's see if I can see how many people are on right now. 29 people right now. That's cool. Okay. So when's the next group healing? It's in 2 days. And it is sold out because it's part of this triplet set, but it's going to be fabulous. And it's still this theme, strong, thriving survivor. And we will do more indie grounding, of course, but we will do extra things as well. And it's at the same time this one was, which is, if you're in the US, it's 10/8, oops. The healing on Sunday. All my live streams start at the same time because I don't want to confuse people. So 10 a.m. Pacific, noon Central, 1 p.m. Eastern is when the live stream healings start. And if you need times for UK, in Central Europe, I do list those on my website. If you need times for other countries, I'm super open to calculating that for you if you need help. Oh, and for your geeky reference, oh, and we do have a Q&A, a free live Q&A, which will be roughly an hour long in 2 days after the Sunday healing. Right after that, there'll be a Q&A live stream. Okay, so the 10 countries, we had 75 participants that I healed today in this healing from the US, 7 in Qatar, 6 in Indonesia, 3 in the UK, 3 in Canada, 2 in Australia, 1 in Spain, 1 in New Zealand, 1 in South Korea, and 1 in India. So hi everybody, and hello to the kids. There were 7 kids, so hi everybody. Okay, great. Thank you so much. You guys are super kind, and people are lots of cute little comments. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I really do. And I will see you in 2 days in the next healing. Bye.